Well, hello everybody. It's Leanne Greff with today's live video. Every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central Time, I host a free class to inspire you to use your product, maybe buy a little product, and maybe inspire you to try something new, whether it's techniques or fun folds or what have you. That is what I love to do. And I also really like to show you quick ways, quick tips, fun tips, easy ways to make things a little simpler when you're card making, because we all need that, right? We want to enjoy it, use our product, and find ways to create a little bit more enjoyably. So, all right, I see some people on. Good morning, everybody. A lot of these gals are on my team. Hey, Candy, Lori, and Tina. Thanks for joining me. And hi, Trina. Okay, all right. I am going to get started. Oh, no, don't tell me I have a frog in my throat. Excuse me. Okay, I'm enjoying a little iced chai tea. That is something I have about every other day. I love it. I use a concentrate and add some almond milk and a little sweetener, and I love it. It's a good, nice treat for me. All right, so they announced yesterday that we are going to have a free shipping promotion, and Candy realized that a year ago they did the same thing at the end of July. So maybe this is a trend, and I have a feeling it might be because July is a pending month for demonstrators. So if they haven't put their quarterly minimum in yet, this is a great time to do it, to get basically 11% off your order. Think about it. If you're putting in a $100 order, you're going to save $11 on your shipping. So yeah, it's, if I did the math right. So yeah, and then you still earn your host rewards. So 10% in host rewards. So save on shipping and earn host rewards. Well, I'm gonna add a little bit more to I'm going to tease you to put an order with me if you do not have a demonstrator, or if you're my customer. So with a $75 purchase, I'm going to give you an extra $10 in host rewards or product rewards. So that is through me. If you need to put an order in, make sure it's over $75 in order to qualify for free shipping. And then I will gift you and send you an extra $10 in rewards. So you'll earn $17 in host rewards on a $75 order. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully you have some things that you're wanting, that you're saving up, or whether it's some dies or cardstock. There's brand new. This whole flyer right here is all brand new online exclusives for non-demonstrators. Demonstrators, we could order it last month. But for others, this is a bunch of new products. So make sure when you go on into the store, and you can reach that by shopwithleanne.com, that you are clicking on the online exclusives. And of course, don't forget to check the last chance list, because there's a lot of items in the last chance list that are still great deals. Everybody who places an order with me, whether it's $1 or $100, will receive my project of the month. Turtley Cute projects using the suite. That's my special in July. The other thing, orders over $50 will receive a stack of designer paper cut and ready for your card fronts. You can trim them up even more, but these are both current and retired products. So you'll get a stack, and the more you order, the bigger your stack will be. So that's how my special for July is working. All right, next, let's go over the inventory status report. So a couple embellishments. The washi tape should be back sometime this week, we're hoping. There's only one paper, no designer paper, just the greetings for all ephemera next week, it looks like. 4 sets of dies and 3 embossing folders are out of stock right now. So they've gotten quite a few back in. Yeah, actually, it's a really nice day here too. It's very cool. We had a nice thunderstorm this morning, about 5 in the morning. Got up and listened and watched it. I'm a fan of thunderstorms. As long as they don't have much damage, of course. But I love listening to thunder and seeing lightning. That's one of my favorite things. My sister and I both share that love, so we get excited and we get to share it with each other. Although she lives in Idaho, so she has her storms, we have our storms. Let's see. What else is going on? Free shipping. Oh, last week I forgot to do door prizes, but Trina Chaska won a free tutorial for sharing my video last week, and Pat Roberts won the cards. So yeah, this today you're going to win one of the cards from this week and one of the cards from last week, which is this one right here. So this was my shaker card I shared last week, and then one of the fun folds I'm making today, you will also be included in the card share for today's winner. So congratulations, Pat and Trina. Trina, go on to my store, flowerbookshop.com, and let me know which tutorial you would like. I have tutorials, I have kits, I'm running low on this month's July's kits, so you might want to take a look at those. I have a lot of others though, and it always is a great deal when you order more than one kit to save on shipping, because I can usually fit 3, sometimes 4 kits. Otherwise I put them in a box if I can't fit them in an envelope. I also still have a lot of my glue stands ready in multiple colors, so you can add those on as well. Okay, all right, I think I'm ready to get, well, you know what? I'm gonna share this month's swap cards for my team. So I've been sharing them this week and last week from my team swaps, and we had to use, our theme was to use window sheets, and this is Paula's card. It's a fun fold card, and I think she calls it a reverse image card that she cased from Kylie Bertucci, and she actually stamped on one side and colored on both, and I think her blending is amazing. Especially the petals in here, it's like so beautiful, and I thought it was just the blends leaching through, but no, she said she colored on both sides, so it's evenly colored. And that is how our card opens. So I believe this one is going on, it's this week. I can't remember, or was it last week? I don't remember, but go to my blog at flowerbug.net and you can see the project sheets for these cards. This one was Kathy's with the Turtly Cute Suite. So she's got her little window sheet sandwiched in between those layers. Here is, I love this card. It's perfect for window sheets, and it gives the opportunity to add that little hammer on that full window sheet that she sandwiched in between these layers. So isn't that a great men's card? That's Jackie's. And here is Tracy's. She did the stained glass technique, heat embossed her butterfly with gold embossing powder and colored with Blends markers. And that is the hybrid embossing folder right there. So I love her baby wipe butterfly in the inside as well. Speaking of butterflies, Candy's was amazing. I mean, this one will go on, I think it's Friday's blog post this week, but look at that. Now, Candy swears that I made this, I did this technique years and years ago. I do not recall. But I have a really poor memory when it comes to card making. But what this is, and I explained in the video or in the blog post, she stamped it with StazOn ink, colored in between the black lines with her Blends markers, I believe on the reverse side, I'm not sure. But then she has a layer, and I think I can kind of do a little peek of, yeah, there we go, sorry. There's a little butterfly. That is tin foil crinkled up. So that just makes this look like gorgeous crinkled stained glass. Beautiful textured effect. And then she put it on another butterfly and she hand cut that instead of using the embossing or the dye that went with it. I think she was trying to eliminate the white edge on there, but gorgeous, gorgeous card. I'm so impressed with that technique. And this one was Joan's, and gosh, Joan is so good about coming up with something just unusual. Look, I don't know if you can see all that shimmer and shine on the inside of her cups. She is a master at coloring, and I believe she used blends markers here. But those cups, she has she die cut, insert the stamped cups between these layers, and there's a sheet of window sheet between that to, and then of course she used a lot of Wink of Stella on here too. But just such a neat card. So I've never seen anything like it. And then Candy, I feel like I'm missing, oh, I know I'm missing one, Lori's, which I'm going to show in a little bit. So yeah, here is Candace's from Utah. Now she apologized. She said, I wish I would have stamped the inside, but she was running so late to get it here in time for the swaps, and it still didn't make it. But we always encourage people to stamp the inside, and she just did not get time. But this is the Tractor and Company bundle that's brand new in the online exclusives, and she added just this window sheet between. She cut a layer from her card base and added the window sheet, and then she sponged and added all the layers of her tractor. Isn't that cool? Love the stars in the sky too. So those are the swaps, and I have one more I'm going to share. Lori did this one, and the reason I held it for last is because I'm going to focus on this stamp set today and show 3 cards with the stamp set. So this is Lori. So she stamped with StazOn directly on her window sheet here. So you can kind of see. And then she put it on the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. So beautiful. And then added those little birds, the brass, I think gold brass, I can't remember. Yeah. So, oh, which in stock, Caroline? I think this is in stock. This is in stock. Oh, the Tractor and Company, I think that's in stock too. I think this is all in stock. Everything here, I believe, is available. I could be wrong, but this is available. This is available. So anyway, that is a beautiful card. I love I didn't think about putting just a full window sheet on and over a piece of designer paper. Very glossy and pretty. So, all right. So those are some of the swaps. I think I feel like I'm missing somebody's. I had them in my card displays, my baskets to pass around to my clubs, and then I had to go find them. So I'm hoping the Sips one. Yeah, the Sips is back in stock, Caroline. Yep. It all came back in. Okay, so playing with the Prairie Grass, I'm going to show you 2 cards that I'm not going to make today, but I will have free project sheets for. So this first one is very simple. I used the cattails and a little bit of the, I guess you just call them weeds, on the front, and this designer paper is the Thoughtful Journey. I'd used so much of this paper on, I think it was last month's club card, that this is just about what I had left, and I'll show you one more card that I'm using. So it's like I have very little. I have to order more because this is perfect for any scenic type stamp. This designer paper, you ought to have that. Okay, so stamped directly on the designer paper with my black memento ink. You can see I got the So Very Sorry from here, the little brass dragonflies. There's the inside. I did another layer because this is 4 inches wide. I was able to grab just enough of the paper to stamp this layer too, more dragonflies. And then there is the inside of the card. So this card fold is called a joy fold. It's one, I don't know why I remember it because the word joy is so fun and happy, but this is a little extra layer on the front, and that is the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. They're narrow, long ones that would fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. I just sponged a little bit of fresh freesia ink on that and adhered it. Now this Glass and Gardens was on the list. It's not available this week. I think, let's see what I have written down here on my Glass and Gardens, August 11th. So a few weeks yet for that one. But here is, if you missed it, I know Caroline, you said you missed that. There's the inventory status report. So it's a joy fold where these layers encompass on top of kind of go on top of each other, and that's called a joy fold. It's very simple. So I did create a free project sheet that I will be sharing today. So it has products listed on the back, measurements, and step-by-step directions, plus pictures, of course. So this will be on my blog next week, and it also will be on my Stamp and Share Facebook group later today. I have it all ready to go, obviously. I will add all 3 project sheets to my Stamp and Share Facebook page. So if you, and there, I'll post a link to them in this video once I upload it to YouTube and on my Facebook page. So I'll adjust the description and you can click right on there and get to the free project sheets today. I know people have said, I wish I could get them right away instead of waiting a week on my blog. So I'm accommodating. And I think people are liking that, so I haven't heard any negatives anyway on that. So that's fresh freesia with black and a little bit of soft misty moonlight. And then this one is another sheet of, it's right here, of the Thoughtful Journey. I had the back side. I thought I don't want it to be kind of busy. So basically I cut a 3 3/4 by, I believe, 5 1/4, or 5 1/8. I can't remember how tall. But then I stamped on the whole sheet. Then I cut it into 3/4 inch strips. So I stamped this image twice, once high, once low, and then added, hear that? That's our geese. We have geese they hang out here. We have about 50 geese in front of our house, but we do have a river right across the street. We have no houses in front of us, so I've shared pictures on my Facebook page. These geese, the parents lay eggs and hatch another 50 every year, it seems. So anyway, I'm going to show you a tip on this. I have, oh boy, where is the extra little piece? I hope I have it here. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so how to do this edge, right? You're like, where's that from? So that is from the To The Point punch. That is back in stock. So it was gone for a long time. So how you do something like that to get that edge, I would stamp first. This is heat embossed with white powder. And then I go in either from the top or the bottom, because remember I have my greeting, so I know where to stop. So it's important when you're doing that to look at the parameters as far as making it even and up and down. Now you can see I'm not centered here, so that could make a difference on my little latch here. So punch once, and then of course you're going to know exactly, because of your greeting, how deep you want to punch. But you cannot punch this way. There will not be a length if you do it this way. It will be as short as the punch, and maybe that's okay. But for this purpose, we need to do it this way. And it's hard to insert that. What I tell people is get another piece of, if you have trouble, get another piece of paper, insert that in there, take this one away, and then make it, I'm going to make it quite short because my other piece is short. And here I'm looking at this one. And it's a little fiddly, but then you punch. Oh, don't move on me. It's easy for it to move. Okay, so now I have the length I would like, okay? So then I'm just going to adhere that. Probably too long of an adhesive, but it's just a scrap. Yeah, it is. It shows right there. Okay, so now this was 3/4 of an inch, or was it 7/8, and this is an inch. Now you'll insert this part and just as wide or deep as you want it. And again, make sure it's straight and punch. And now you have a nice layer. Okay, so that's how I did that. Then you would do the other side, which I don't need to do. Okay, so think about the ends of your punches in different ways. Yeah, you can definitely find other ways to do that. I know some people, was it Lori? Yeah, Lori, didn't you use it on the ends of this card? I'm almost positive you did to get that. I was looking at that, like how did she layer that gold part? And do you see that? She inserted a gold piece and it was, I think, exactly the right width, but she didn't have the height here. Okay, so yeah, you can make some fun shapes by thinking of your punches in different ways. Yeah, I thought so. I had to look really close. I'm like, okay, where's that from, Lori? Okay, all right, so there's 3 extra cards that I'll have project sheets for this one. I believe I shared this one last week. I don't remember what I did, if I shared this yet. I'll have to look. Okay, so let's move on. And the card I'm making today for you club members will be a repeat because it is one of our July club cards. So this is it right here. So this is using the Prairie Grass with a little masking, sponging, and a fun fold. Okay, isn't that beautiful? It is our cloud cover with black and of course some ink colors. So let's get started. Hopefully I have everything here. I use Darling Duckling for the yellow, Secret Sea for this, and Timid Tiger for the orange. You'd never think that those bright colors are what you get out of this, but I'm going to show you how. Okay, so Prairie Grass, I highly recommend it. Of course, this is to me, a Midwestern stamp set. This is what we have in our fields. If it's not wheat, it is sunflowers and flax and canola, and that's what we grow here for the most part in North Dakota. Some corn, but yeah, this is our flat North Dakota fields. Okay, so here is the other card that has no yellow on it. So I gave my gals a choice. I probably will do the yellow this time. And remember, the free project sheet will be on both my Facebook page, Flyerbug Stamp and Share, and on my blog next week. Okay. All right, so when I have my clubs, I usually, I'm going to start with this first. I'm going to start with these layers. And this is 5.5 by 1. And this is really important. This is just a quarter sheet of cloud cover. By the way, I noticed the cloud cover ink pad is back in stock in the Last Chance store. So if anybody is missing having the full-size ink pad, it is actually available right now in the online store. However, I will give the caveat that they are not guaranteeing how good the stamp pad will be and will last, because they pulled it off the shelf. They're not offering it in the catalog. They're offering it while supplies last because their tests were not the best. The longevity of the ink did not meet their criteria. Okay, this should be a little longer, but it'll still work. Okay, so you have to add that scored, it's scored at 4 inches, I believe. And then this is 3.25 by, let me grab my old folder here, by 11. Okay, so it's important to me to add this, and you could do it either, I'll explain in a minute, under this piece or on top of this piece. But if you don't want to have this showing, this end piece, because this would cover it as well on the inside. So either over this or under this, so you don't have that little piece hanging in the middle here. So that's basically the card. It's super, super simple. Again, the free project sheet will be listed. So there we go. Does that look like the card? Kind of a basics, but we have lots to do yet. So I'll set that aside. All right. The greetings in this set are so pretty. Sometimes life is just hard. There's just some things that you don't always have the right words for. And this stamp set gives you some great words. Now, I believe the Dear Friend is from the Spotlight on Nature stamp set. I could be wrong. I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to stamp in, it can either be Black Memento or the Secret Sea. Oops, upside down. Remember, the less surface you have, oh, that had a little, I see a little kitty hair. Lucky I have two sides. Okay, that one's better. All right, now I'm going to do the inside while I'm stamping those cattails. So anyway, the less surface area of your stamp, the less you have to push, especially with our other ink pads. Memento has that firm linen pad, but the others are foam. So the less you have, less surface, the less firmness you have to apply when you're inking your stamps. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone for... got something else on there. Oh, I'll fix that later. Okay, let's do our stamping of the front. So here, yes, I'm using my Stamparatus, and I know it's retired, and I apologize. But for my clubs and classes, it works like a charm. I hate to say it, but it does. So I told them to lay their white cardstock between 1 and 4 so they knew where to be, and not to be a little above where the inking is so you don't have floating images. Does anybody know what I mean by floating images? They're right here. There's a little bit of air, which is not natural, so don't love that. But yeah. All right, so we're going to use, again, Black Memento. Slide that over. I use a stamp set as a support when I'm inking. And then I should have my magnets in the right place. Use my sweater and press firmly. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so done stamping. Move that aside. Now, I'm going to get a scrap paper so I don't make a big mess of this. So one thing that is really important for this is to use a Post-it note to mask your moon, right? So you can go as high or as low as you want. Now this Post-it note is called Super Sticky, and they are sticky on all sides. It's really hard to even pull these up. Now this, I believe, is the 1.5 inch circle punch, which is retired. You can use any circle punch or die, but what works for me is when I'm using a punch, I have to have 2 layers to punch through this Post-it notes, or you get a rough edge on your piece. I kind of have one right here that's kind of rough. You can see that didn't punch well. So that sometimes can make a difference in your finished look. So the reason I like the sticky all over is because it will not lift up while I'm sponging. Okay, we're gonna start off with Secret Sea. I'm gonna scoop that up. I'm right-handed. And a blending brush. So when you're using a blending brush, I've been using this a lot. Sometimes I get into my techniques and I tend to repeat them. So starting off the paper and working your way on, less is more. When you want a smooth look, you can kind of see I'm just going back and forth in a circular motion, and I'm not getting a whole lot of ink on there. If you want it smooth or light, that's what you want to do. So start, your first dab should always be off your paper so you don't get that on your paper. Very, very important. And you don't want to put a lot of pressure. So sometimes I work from the bottom and slowly work my way up in circular motion. You can go back and forth. I don't tend to like the look of back and forth as well. And the reason I start and work my way up is I usually like the bottom to be darker as it meets another color, because then it will blend easier. Look at those awful dabs that I get when I first start. You do not want those on your card. So got a real nice soft look going. Sometimes you get a little leery, like every now and then you're gonna get a little dash or a little smear. And it's just what happens. Sometimes I wonder if there isn't, I don't know, a little speck or something on my brush that can add a smear or a line as I'm going. I don't know why that happens, but I found that a light hand works best. So I think that's probably good. I'm going to make this bottom a little bit darker so there's quite a bit of difference. Well, I don't know about quite a bit, but that's where I'm going with this. That looks pretty good. All right, done with that. We will move on to the Darling Duckling. Any yellow will work. I happen to have a smaller brush. I can see there's something on my ink pad. We will brush those away. Okay. Now, one thing I've learned, do not start here where there's blue. If you bring that yellow up or across, you will have a dirty looking yellow. So I need to, basically what I told people is kind of start on your mask and work your way over. Either off the paper like this and work your way on. You see that little dash that I got there from that ink? I don't want that on my project. So that's why I'm starting off the paper each time. Okay, I think that's plenty of yellow. Now what I'm going to do is move this around so I have a clean scrap surface for my orange or Timid Tiger ink. Okay. All right, so just kind of brush it. Start off the paper and work your way on. Really nice and lightly. And work your way toward that yellow. It's so fun and relaxing to me to do this. Light hand, less ink. Sometimes I don't add any ink. If everybody else has already inked, I will most likely not ink or just lightly tap it so I don't get a lot of ink, because you can see how soft this is looking. You can always add more, but if you get that bright mark, then you're kind of stuck like making it really bright to blend that mark in. So now I'm going to try and focus a little closer to the yellow and getting a little bit more orange next to that yellow and actually blending right into it. Start right on that Post-it note and working my way away from it. And what we call the big reveal, when you remove that Post-it, that little Post-it mask or circle, so pretty. So you can go as dark as you'd like, but I think I'm going to quit. All right, so close up my inks and do the big reveal here. It's so fun to reveal that moon or sun, whatever you think, but I think it's a moon. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love, love, love this technique. Now, another thing I did was on the greeting, I took my Timid Tiger and made sure there wasn't a lot of ink on there and just kind of went over that greeting. So such a fun way. And some people added more to the bottom or the rest of the inside of their card, but for the most part, we just did the greeting. But yeah, a circle punch or die, and Post-it notes, and some beautiful scene stamped and sponge. I just absolutely love the stamp set. I think at every club I sold, people ordered it because they loved the technique, they loved how easy it was, and it's just very Midwest where we're from. Okay, Now I have a tip on this. You see how these notches match? Now I like this one better because it goes over the edge of the card. I don't like that. It kind of bothers me. So this one went over. I'm going to try and make this one do the same thing. So what I recommend you do is to trim, and I'm going to just lay that on there, grab my scissors, and I know I have to start at that point on the black, so I'm just going to start a little bit in here. See if that worked. Yeah, that should be fine. Then we will add that. So this is a way to match the angle on your layers. Okay, so you can see now I have that black layer, and go ahead. Boy, I did not give myself much room. I wonder if I can trim that just a hair more. There we go. Then I'm going to start at that point and match the angle. It's close. I'm going to try and do a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so now it does almost reach. That piece was a little bit short for my liking compared to this one. I like that one better. So I'm going to show you a tip on adding a ribbon. So I gave them an option of adding either the gems, which are the in color gems. I think these are the ones that are out of stock right now, coming back in August. Thanks, Darlene. I'm glad you like the blending. I do really love blending. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get a smooth knot when you tie a ribbon like this. There is a trick. Okay, all right, so I have to have it kind of toward me. This is our cloud cover ribbon. I think it's 1/2 inch. It's kind of a mesh ribbon. So the first step is, of course, to tie a knot, and I don't think it really matters which way your inside of your layers are. What matters is this next step. So my middle finger is holding that down. Now I have the rest of my fingers to work with. So that one's out of commission. I have these two to help hold. And then, of course, my whole right hand. So sneak that under there. Now I'm going to transfer. I'm going to transfer to this finger. And you can see that it's going to look not so good. But what you do is you hold that knot and pull one end. So I can see that that knot wants to be on top. If I pull, it's hard for me to do that where you can see it. If I pull one end and kind of hold that, not both ends, just one end, I have a smooth knot on the front. So it takes practice, but basically it's a matter of pulling one end. So, yep, that is my tip for getting a smooth knot when you're doing an overhand knot like that. Okay, that is the card. Oops, and we have to add this one. I didn't do a greeting in there because this will likely be a thank you card. Don't forget that somebody who comments on this video will receive one of these cards and one of my shaker cards from last week. So that's what you will get. If you comment today, you'll be in the drawing for these 2 cards to receive in the mail. So I think that's it. Oh, you know, I didn't use these, but I did use them, and I didn't tell you about that. So you see they're black here. I used a black blends marker to color the birds black, so they match. I didn't want gold on this card. I thought about it. I'm like, no, I don't want gold, so I just colored them. A Sharpie would work as well when you're going with black, but it has to be a permanent marker in order to change the color of these. Okay, all right, that's it. Those are the cards for today's video, and they will all be on my blog next week and on my Flowerbug Stamp and Share later today in my Facebook group. And I will update this video with the information and the links to those free project sheets. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate you joining me for a little crafty inspiration today, and I hope that you're inspired to stamp, use your products, or order more. All right, have a great week, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.